Hello, my little owlets, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry for taking a kind of a break after I did that Animal Jam video. My computer that I used to use before broke entirely, which means I also lost my old Sims 2 megahood that I did a review on about a year or so ago now. But yeah, I'm actually kind of somewhat recently-ish started a new megahood, which Pleasant View, Strangetown, and Veronaville. And I want to give you all a kind of like an update on this one. Same era, around 4 rounds in, 20 or so years in the future. I'm only going to be focusing on the Pleasant View because I haven't finished the winter round for Strangetown and Veronaville yet. So I will just go in my strategy order and we'll just show all the households that I have in my Pleasant View. Without further ado, we will head on into the first Goth family. A lot has changed in Cassandra's life. She thought she had the town Casanova tamed, but he was found with her own mother and sent away. Meanwhile, a younger man showed up with kindness, emphasizing with being cheated on, and she latched in. The next heiress to the Goth home is born, but is Cassandra truly happy? And will Dustin ever open up on what he truly knows on cheating, and why he understands it so much? Alrighty, so here is the Goth household. As you could tell by the bio, it consists of Cassandra Goth, who is really cold right now. She was out and about somewhere. She was before married to Dom Lothario. However, as the bio suggested, Cassandra found out that Dawn was cheating on her with the Bella Goth, her own mother, and so she kicked him out, and she lived like as a single mom to her 2 kids right here. So this is Cassandra and Dawn's oldest son, only son actually. Ooh, he wants a job in the law enforcement career, yeah. I have a mod in, I will try to link it below, the Sims 2 Fairy Changelings mod, in which there's like the 10% chance, I believe, by default, I could be mistaken, that your sim will, if they have like a child with someone, that child will not be genetically related to them. Silas was my first fairy changing in this hood. I think like first of 2. He just became a teenager. He is a romance sim, specifically a hopeless romantic kind of sim. He's not like his dad was in cheat. I kind of been writing my Sims bios. It's the kind of top 3 like most extreme traits that kind of represent him. He's shy, serious, and neat. And as you can see, he is a hopeless romantic sim with a secondary in fortune, specifically the hardworking trait. After seeing his parents get a divorce, Silas made it his goal to find someone to love and stick with. He didn't want to use his family's wealth for it either. He wants to work hard. Over here we have Dawn and Cassandra's. This is Ava Lothario. She is a sloppy, shy, and active sim. Her future primary aspiration will be family with the secondary of knowledge. Ava watched her mom's dreams for a big family be crushed when daddy left her. She wanted to live the life her mom never got to. She was kind of born late-ish in their marriage, so she's like halfway through her childhood right now. Dawn and Cassandra got a divorce, 2 rounds ago? This is Cassandra. As you all know, I kind of skipped past her when I went over the kids. She's shy, neat, and playful. This is after finding her husband was cheating on her with her own mother, Cassandra fell headfirst into the first man that showed her genuine interest, moving him in immediately after the new heiress is born. And then I've also was inspired by fellow Sims 2 YouTuber Sammy Sundog, who gives their Sims like secrets like the PSP games do. And I've been kind of working on that with my Sims. Not everyone has them, as you can see, Silas didn't have any, and Ava didn't have any. But a lot of my Sims do, and I will read you her secrets. Cassandra has a personal secret. She loves all of her kids, but wishes she has more. Intimate. Cassandra's definitely not settling for Dustin. You need to understand her more. And her dark secret is Cassandra is definitely settling for Dustin. And she's going to be an elder in 7 days. Here's kind of, when she married Dawn, they had Silas. It was, like I said, a fairy changeling. And then she got abducted by aliens. I kind of have a fun thing in my game where I thought, very firstborn girl after, like, because the aliens love Bella so much. What if, like, this her bloodline is cursed and every, like, first girl is, abducted aliens a lot. She's a family secondary knowledge, and since she's a secondary knowledge sim, she actually liked getting abducted by aliens. But yeah, then she had Ava. She actually caught Dawn cheating on her with, I believe, Nina, but she decided to stay with him after that. She's like, okay, I'll give you, like, one more chance, but don't mess up again. And then she caught him cheating again with her mom. And so she broke up with him. She's like, alright, like, cheating on me with, like, some random woman. Okay, fine, whatever. I can make that work. But with my own mother, having a birthday party for Silas. And Cassandra invited over her mom, her dad, her stepmom at the time, but we'll get to that. Dina, and, like, all of their kids and da-da-da-da-da. And Dawn ended up, I believe, just making out with Dina front and center in front of Cassandra, so she broke up with him and kicked him out literally immediately after that. Dawn lives in Strangetown right now, so we won't be able to get to him currently, but next video. But yeah, she was kind of, like, single for a long time after that. She just took care of her kids, da-da-da, and then she, in my personal fiction, my lore that I've made, Cassandra was kind of online on, like, a forum post or whatever for people who have been cheated on and stuff. And on that forum post, she met Dustin. He and Angela did not work out. Angela autonomously on her own and did not tell her to. ACR had full capability. ACR had Angela cheat on Dustin with Mercutio Monti, who lives in Veronaville. They had 3 bullets together. ACR put them together, and they had a teen pregnancy. So Dustin's not with Angela anymore. He was cheated on by Angela when they were young. However, he went to college, and he was briefly with Hermia Cat. He ended up getting back with Angela in college, and was kind of seeing them both, like, fortune sim. But he grew up in, like, the trailer park. He grew up in, like, poverty. Like, while he did kind of love Hermia, he was more so in love with the idea of inheriting that big house that she had. Tragedy struck with them when Angela came over to the house. And I didn't exactly see exactly what happened. But somehow Angela and Justin, I guess they flirted or slept together or something in front of Hermia. Because next thing I know, I noticed that Hermia was being mean to Dustin. I was like, what happened? It's because she found out that he cheated. And they kind of tried making it work, but eventually they just broke up with him. And he went back to his trailer for a little bit, and that's when he met Cassandra, who he also only has 1 vote with. Like I said, he ended up meeting Cassandra on a forum about, people who've been cheated on. Which, yes, he has been cheated on. However, he's also cheated. Knowing how being cheated on feels, he cheated on Hermia. And a kind of, like, storyline I kind of have for him is that Dustin is, things don't work out with Hermia, at least I can go back to Angela. However, when Hermia and him broke up, he kind of was like, call up Angela, and was kind of called her over to the house. And she was like, and he was like, look, like, Steph, can I come with you, move in with you, blah, 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 blah. And Angela's like, I have, like, 2 kids. I have, like, sons. I have, like, a family. Like, I'm not throwing away my whole life for you. Because Angela's a secondary romance sim in this. With how much she, like, autonomously on her own cheated on Dustin, I was like, yeah, secondary romance kind of fits. And yeah, so that's why he ended up, like, in his trailer alone. They're furious with each other for a bit. More so, Dustin was mad at Angela. But he's growing. He's learning. I don't know if he'll ever bring up that he cheated on someone, especially to Cassandra, who they met over. like a forum post about being cheated on, and I don't know how Cassandra would take a new boyfriend that she moved in. I don't know how she would take it that and finding out that he cheated on someone. But last but not least, I didn't really actually get a chance to go over her. Her room's not kind of built up yet. She was just born. This is Clementine. Clementine is the daughter of Dustin and Cassandra. It's Dustin's only child. And I see Cassandra wants another baby. I don't know if that'll happen because she's becoming an elder next round. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, yeah. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this family. We're gonna find out that, like, Dustin actually cheated on someone. And if so, like, how would she react? She's kind of getting older. She doesn't really have much, like, if her and Dustin were to break up. Because the only man that she has, like, a lot of chemistry for is Patrizio Monti, who's dying, like, this round, and Antonio, who's married, and, also, Patrizio's also married, so, like, she just wouldn't really find, I don't know if she'd be able to find someone. We'll be heading on over to the Dreamers. Dirk lived a comfortable life. He found out what worked for him and got himself a roommate to help split the bills in his old childhood home. However, his roommate apparently got involved with a college professor, now bringing an extra 4 mouths to feed in what was meant to be a chill life. Would Dirk get fed up and kick Tavi out? And what does Tavi truly know about Nervous Subject and his new identity? Let's head on in. Anyways, here's the Dreamers. Darren died of electrocution after Dirk had left for college, and so Dirk is now an orphan, much younger than he probably would be in a normal life, but oh well. I had him move in with this sim named Tavi Edwards. Tavi I play with the random occurrence scenario program thing, and I've used that to run a random event for my families every round. And in a random event that I had gotten for Nervous Subject, who's now named Orpheus Spectre, and his husband Ken Cat, is that they are going to have a foreign exchange student moving with them, and that foreign exchange student was Tavi. Yeah, he was in the criminal career, and he had heard about this kidnapping case that happened, in which some guy named Nervous Subject stole, like, literally took an alien baby from the Beakers. He's kind of investigate. He's a paranormal career level 6. He's kind of trying to investigate Nervous Orpheus and, like, trying to get him, like, put away. And of course, Todd doesn't know that the reason that Nervous had left with the alien baby, is because Nervous, was their test subject, and the alien baby was going to be, like, their next newest test subject. And so Nervous left with the baby, but of course Tavi doesn't know that. All Tavi knows is, like, yo, my guardian kind of kidnapped someone. I can read you his bio. If I can find it. He's a grouchy, lazy, and outgoing. It says, I wrote this back when he lived with Kent and Nervous, which is why the bio will reference him. It says, Tavi knows something is strange with Kent and Orpheus. They treat him well while he lives under the roof, but Orpheus resembles this guy he saw on the paper named Nervous Subject. And this Nervous guy is bad news. He kidnapped the red baby just like Lucia. He is gay, and he ended up getting with this ex-college professor who works at my jail. Because I didn't know what to do with him. Because I got a random event for someone to move their sim with their highest lifetime relationship in. And it was either going to be Lilith, who is in a relationship with someone else, or it's going to have to be Tavi's boyfriend, the ex-college professor, Holden. And so I moved Holden in. And I also have started kind of playing with, like, science babies and, like, same-sex pregnancy. I was going to see if I like it, and I really do. And, of course, Tavi ended up having triplets. He had Ellis, Jonah, and Sylvie. They were like just born, so there's not really much to say about them. But yeah, Tommy's kind of looking into the case with Nervous, and he's already in jail right now because he stole some newspaper from my sins. You know, that's a crime. And so he's in jail for like just around. I guess Dirk. I kind of jumped over him entirely. So Dirk, obviously, as we all know, he was dating Lilith in the beginning of the game. However, I like just for like fun, for my personal taste, I like to, for all my teenage Sims that were, that are teenagers when the game starts, I re-roll their sexualities for funsies. I want to. And Dirk ended up rolling as aromantic asexual. However, I might have to change the asexual part, just get rid of it. Because I recently added a rule that my family sims can be asexual, because like my romance sims can't be aromantic. Just kind of for balance. I put this rule in place after the game was second year, but he and Tommy didn't really know each other. I just moved Tommy in with him because I didn't want there to be multiple little households in that game. I wanted there to be like a bunch of bigger ones. He has in law career, he wants to be level 10, and he's already level 7. He's like actually kind of going really off in the career. And I'm eventually kind of want to have like a story, maybe have a storyline where like Tavi's like, hey, like, Tavi's kind of telling about the whole nervous subject case and see what happens from there. But we also have this, the Resurrected Nomatron. Tavi, who's level 6 in the Paranormal Crew, is able to get it for them. So it's kind of, there's now a possibility of maybe, what if Dirk resurrects his dad? It'll kind of be weird because dad will be younger than him. Or what if he resurrects his mom? Or what if he just, like, he just has the power to resurrect someone, and his dad had passed, like, just all on his own by himself while Dirk was at college. So maybe he'll give both of his parents like a second shot. Because I know what to say about Holden. He is old college professor and now works at my jail. He's my night guard. He literally is only here because Tavi had to move someone in, and then they ended up having triplets. Sons, baby triplets. But yeah, there's not really much else to say about the Dreamer family. So we will move on to the next family on my list, which is the Calientes. From rags to riches to rags again, Dina got caught in the arms of her ex-son-in-law and had to leave her rich husband. Meanwhile, single mom Nina thought she was done having kids, surprising herself when a risky woohoo turned sour. How will the sisters cope with living under the same roof after oh so long? Will their kids be happy? Let's head on in. This is Dina, gold digger. She was married to Mortimer for a really long time. If you're wondering why he's young, random event. He ended up getting a random event called the Fountain of Youth. Random event which I liked, and it was to age your sim down a life state. And so Mortimer is now aged back down to an adult. He's technically younger than Cassandra, but it was either I have to age him down to an adult or I had to age Dina down to a teenager. Which I wasn't gonna do. She had kind of kept her affair with Dawn under wraps for a long time. However, I think Dawn ended up just coming over. And Dina and Mortimer lived in the condo. And Dawn ended up coming over. And I believe they just made out in front of Mortimer. And Mortimer was like, what the heck? Why'd you do that? I'm not gonna live with you anymore. Dina has technically 4. Yeah. Dina has 4 kids with Mortimer, 2 of which are adopted, which we'll get to. But her 2 biological kids with Mortimer is Victor and Penelope. Victor's right here. He's over here. He just became a teenager. Victor, I don't have it written down but in my game, but on my spreadsheet it says that he is a pleasure sim, but like the hedonist kind of background, so he wants what he wants and might not work for it. And he's also a popularity sim, but like mean kind, so he's gonna wanna just be mean. To Dean and Mortimer's second oldest child is right here. This is Chelsea. She is not a biological kid of theirs. Biologically, Chelsea is the second daughter of John and Jennifer Verb. However, I got a random event that when I played them that they must give up a child for adoption. And I was like, well, I don't want to give up Lucy. But it was just Lucy and Chelsea at the time. And I was like, well, I don't want to give up Lucy. So I had them give up little baby Chelsea when she was young. And Chelsea lived in the orphanage for a long time. Pretty much up until last round, I want to say. She was either in there from spring, summer to fall, or just summer and fall. Either way, oops, she just became a teenager. Like, just became one. And she is a hopeless romantic sim. Who's also going to have a family secondary. So, yeah, that's gonna be good for her. I don't know who I'll get her with. Also, Penelope Goff, who was, Dina and Mortimer's second biological child, I believe the third oldest. Mortimer ended up taking Penelope with him and left Dina with everyone else. And so Penelope's in the bin, firmly in the family bin. I haven't moved Mortimer in the world yet. Can't show you her at the moment. But they have another child. This is Augustus Goff. He was previously, if you can't tell by his face, he's previously Augustus Beaker. They had triplets. They had Saris, who passed away while she was in the orphanage in a car accident. And then they had Augustus and Adam. Augustus was adopted by Dina when she adopted Chelsea last round. These are just his old bio from when he lived with the Beaker, so I guess I can read it. It says, Augustus Beaker is a man of few talents and fewer words. His personal secret is he's forgotten a lot, intimate, he was the only one of his siblings not planned. I'm to change that. That was kind of when he lived with the Bakers. I said that he was the only one not planned because Adam and Saris, if you don't know, Adam Baker and Saris Baker are canon in The Sims 3 and Into the Future. Augustus is not, so I just kind of have that be like, oh, like he's not planned, the only one. But yeah, on to Nina's side of the family. So Nina, as you can see, she is pregnant. As you can see and tell by the bio, she is pregnant with. I just built this house, I guess renovated it. Why does that look that? It's supposed to be. Hold on. Yeah, I tried fucking with the basement, and I think I did okay. I guess I didn't put a assembler in my lot. I haven't played this lot yet. Yeah. Nina got pregnant out of a risky woohoo. Her first one was General Buzz. I haven't had her and General Buzz. They've been like in love for a bit, but I have never had them woohoo, so I had them woohoo last round. She lived in the Pleasant Vista apartments. However, I had a random event where Nina must get abducted by aliens a few times, and in that, she had her child Mars. This is Mars. For a long time, just Nina and Mars. Nina eventually, after she had Mars, she had moved out to a custom apartment that I had put in the world from Mod The Sims. Any of custom lots that you see that aren't just remodels of old houses like this one. So they are all from Mod The Sims. She moved to that apartment so it can accommodate her and her child better. And then I had rolled a random event that she had to adopt one child, and that child she ended up adopting is Adam. Adam Caliente, and he's like I said earlier with when I was going over Augustus, they are their siblings. They are triplets. Their sisters unfortunately passed away, but now they live together in the same household again. I have calculated Adams. These are all from Beaker Times. I need to rewrite his bio. I'm sure he's going to be a family. His primary. I don't remember his secondary, but this is Adam. Him, like I said, pretty much I went over him when I went over Augustus. It's really cool now, I guess, that Adam now gets to live with his biological brother again, even if they are cousins, kind of. Adoptedly, they are cousins. I have not played them in this household yet. They're like, you kind of saw a little bit of it, so I can go over to the house. In the basement, I didn't have, like, room for everyone to be on the ground floor, so I had to build a basement. I got really overwhelmed by it being big, so I made it small. This is Mars's room. Mars right here. They are gonna be sleeping in the basement. Upstairs in the ground floor, this is Nina's room. She's bathroom connected to her room. And we have like the room for the baby, the upcoming baby. Over here, woo, this is Adam and Augustus's room. Yeah, one desk. If I could only fit one. I'll try to link that one tile desk if I have it. And these bunk beds I had for a long time. I know they're on Lava Sims. And then upstairs, this is Victor and Chelsea's room. I didn't really, I'm gonna be real, I had spent most of my time trying to figure out how basements worked. And so when I finally did that, I didn't really have the energy to decorate upstairs that much. So we have the teens' room. They have like a bathroom, joint bathroom with their mom, Gina. This is Gina's room. Like I said, kind of empty because I didn't really feel like decorating it much. Then we have a little living room area. Though I might honestly, if I come and remodel this household again, and the kitchen, or kind of breeze over the kitchen, I might have like turn kind of this empty area here into a little living and dining, and then build a room right here for Mars, so Mars doesn't have to be in the basement all by themselves. She's engaged to Daniel Pleasant. They had the want to get engaged, and Nina wants to get married. And my initial plan was to move her and Mars and Adam into the Pleasant house. Her getting pregnant kind of threw a wrench in my plans because she wouldn't be able to fit in that Pleasant household, which we will see in a moment. Yeah, I wanted to get her moving with Daniel. However, his household's kind of full, and with Nina and her two kids and the upcoming baby, that would have been 4 Sims. And the Pleasants have like 5, so it would have just been like just over by 1. Now live with Dina, her sister, and they're back, and like they're living in the same home. And I will just see how it goes. Will they enjoy living together? I mean, it's been 20 years, I think. Yeah. But that is really about the Caliente household. We'll head on to the next household, which is the Pleasants. Daniel played a family man for as long as he could, but he couldn't hold back what he truly wanted. Luckily, Caitlin Langerak was comfortable with the openness with what was asked of her, moving in her shiny new husband and 2 kids for a desert town. How did Daniel cope with suddenly feeling how he made his ex-wife feel? Let's head on in. This is the Pleasant household. So, as you kind of all know from the beginning of the game, Mary Sue comes home early from work and catches Daniel cheating on her with Caitlin Langerak. They made it work. They ended up having 3 kids together. After the Angela, they had twin daughters, Samantha and Abigail. And then after that, they ended up having another daughter named Catherine, who has passed away in a car accident in the orphanage. I don't exactly know what happened, why, but I was kind of controlling Daniel and Mary Sue, just kind of going through the round. And while I'm playing, I seen the little pop up down here, the social worker, and I hear the music, and my kids were taken away. My guess is that it was kind of a social emotive issue. I don't know for 100%. They were toddlers at the time. They weren't children. They were toddlers. So I'm guessing they're social emotive drunk. But yeah, like I said, Daniel and Mary Sue, they made it work after Daniel got caught cheating. And however, Daniel didn't stop his affairs. He had an affair with this townie named Samantha Bandette, who her hair is probably different because I had a lot of custom hairs in my game, and then I got rid of him. He had an affair with Titania Summer Dream and ended up having a child with her. He had an affair with Nina. He wants to actually get married to Nina. It was kind of a similar situation that happened at the beginning of the game. Mary Sue was out at work, and Daniel was with Nina, and they were wooing in the car. And Mary Sue had just gone home, and she caught them, and they broke up. Like, Mary Sue was like, "I'm not doing this anymore. I gave you a chance before, and you ruined it. Like, I will be leaving," and I'm like, I'm gonna move back in with my parents while they still have time left. And you can keep the house. I don't care. Like, you could keep the kids. And then the kids end up getting taken away. So he's like, you can keep the house, you can keep the kids. I just can't be with you anymore. Like, I can't stand you. Da 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 da. But then kind of alone in this really big house. After his kids got taken away, his wife left him, and then his affair partner, his girlfriend Titania Summer Dream, caught him cheating, even though she can't be mad. Because she's also in a relationship, but we don't get to her today because she's in Rhodaville. Either she wrote the want to get engaged, I don't remember, I think I was playing Nina. I don't remember who. One of them wrote the want to get engaged, and so I had them get engaged. And now they're both gonna get married. So I am debating on, because having a storyline, because the kind of storyline I have is that the other Sims in this household are Kaylin Langerak and Rip Grunt. They were not ever expected couple. I did not ever expect Kaylin and Rip to fall in love in the way that they have. However, it was Rip had just gone back from college. So he was living in an apartment in Strangetown. He lived in Strangetown. And I have a mod where instead of the apartment NPCs generating to be my neighbors, it'll make townies and service NPCs and like professors and blah 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 blah. They're all gonna be my apartment neighbors instead. And one of the apartment neighbors that ended up showing up was Kaylin. And they, as you can see right here, have 3 bolts together. And I believe Rip was in a relationship with Romeo at the time, but they didn't really work out after this. Because Romeo ended up becoming a family sim. So Rip had started seeing Kaylin. And so when Romeo broke up with him, so he and Kaylin said, "Alright, well, let's move to Veronaville. We can move to the flop house over there, because I have a flop house in Veronaville." And they ended up moving to Veronaville together, and they got married. They had a kid, their daughter, together. This is Matilda Langerak. She just became a child. She kind of just ended up, she's trying to be their only kid. Maybe they'll have one more. Probably not, because Caitlin's already aging up this round, so I don't think they'll have any more. But then this up here is Frederick Langerak. He is the son of Kaylin and Daniel. However, he is a fairy changeling, which is why he looks like this. He doesn't look like any of his parents because he's not biologically related to them. And he kind of looks like Gordon King, so I wonder if Gordon King is technically his bio dad, or if there's a townie in my game with the Gordon King's face. But this is Freddy. He and Matilda were kind of born really close to each other. They're close. Not lifetime wise, they're not. He's gonna be a family popularity sim, but strict parent with an enemy. And right here I kind of wrote him bio. And being born a changeling and your family full of humans sucks. Freddy aims to make his own colony of misfit kids like him and bullying anyone in his way. I want to get him to befriend like kids like Mars and like Callie and Diana, which we'll get to them in a moment because they're in the orphanage. Like the occult kids, like the alien kids. He wants to try to befriend them. I can imagine him being an absolute like asshole to the Beakers, even though they're like the kids, even though they didn't control what happened to the to Nervous and them. But that's kind of time for another day. So I'm kind of debating on having like a storyline because, well, he is friends with Rip and he does understand that like he's all cool with open relationships, but he doesn't like feeling that, man, my girlfriend seeing is seeing another guy, and this other guy is younger than me. Kind of like how Kaylin is younger than Mary Sue, and that's how Mary Sue felt when she found Daniel cheating on her, with Kaylin, and who's also younger than Mary Sue. So Mary Sue definitely felt the way that Daniel does. So I'm debating on having Daniel kick out Kaylin and Rip, if that severs their romantic ties, because he's like he's insecure essentially, and he's like, I no, you guys need to leave. Like I know you guys said you guys can move here, but like no, I want you guys out of my house. And they're like, bro, what? It's like I have a fiance and I wanted to move in with me. We will see. We will see. Well, that is really all for the Pleasant family. We will head on to the next household on the list, which is the Burbs. The Burbs just can't stop. John is taking up gardening full time while Jennifer slaves away in her education career. They may deeply regret giving up their second child and putting her in the orphanage, but that guilt has nothing to do with how many kids they have. Let's head on in. Alright, so this is the Burbs. They have. Oh, he wants to have a. He's like, I don't want to adopt. I want to have a biological kid. I don't want to have to face it. I don't want to have to face what I've done. And there are 4 kids that live with them. As I said before, John ended up there was a random event in my game where John and Jennifer had to give up a child for adoption. And I was like I said, I don't want it to be Lucy. So they ended up giving up Chelsea, who lives with Dina and Nina. So it's literally just him and Jennifer and Lucy for a while, until John I had him start taking up gardening, and he has a little greenhouse back here. Nothing's planted yet because I had him just harvest everything. John had ended up becoming a plant sim with how much he gardens, and he had the want to have a baby, and so I had him grow Oakley. I'm a monitor. My plant sims can be kids. Yeah, he's like plant son. He was born from an ideal plant. I believe we have custom ones in my game. I'll try to link them if I remember. But this is Oakley. I don't think I have his aspirations calculated. Just kidding, I lied. I do. He's a family pleasure sim. Oakley wants a big family, but also doesn't want to work a day in his life, it should say. Not lie, a day in his life. Will he find a partner suitable for his needs? Will he need to put his plants and powers to the test? He just became a child, so there's really not much for me to say about him. And yeah, next up on the list we have Noelle. I kind of used the rules before, but Jennifer had ended up infertile. However, she's a secondary family sim, and she wanted, after Oakley was born, she wanted another baby, but she was, assumably at the time, she thought she was infertile, and so she and John adopted Noelle. This is her. She was adopted as a baby, so she's a random appearance. But last round, I had rolled a random event for an unexpected pregnancy. John and Jennifer thought they thought they couldn't have any more kids, like biologically. However, ended up pregnant with twins. They had Cindy, who just became a toddler, and she inherited John's plant simness. I think I can show you what she would look like. This Cindy, like I said, she inherited John's plant simness. However, this is kind of what she would look like if she didn't look like a plant sim. And then she has a twin brother over here named Noah. Like, and then not much is really say about them. They just became toddlers. They feel sad. They feel guilty that they give Chelsea up for adoption. Especially because in my game, literally immediately after they gave Chelsea up for adoption, both John and Jennifer immediately both want to have a baby, but couldn't because they thought they're infertile, so they adopted Noelle instead. And maybe they might have one more. Probably not, because John and Jennifer are aging up into elders next round. But yeah, Jennifer has the lifetime want to become education minister. So I have her right now in the education career. She's currently an elementary school teacher. She's working her way up. I don't know if she'll make it to education minister, but she's gonna try, and I don't ever see her retiring, so she's probably not gonna retire until either she makes it or she passes away. That's the verbs. Not much to say about them. So we move on to the next household, which is the Oldies. Along with no one but her dog, Mary Sue wonders how her life became what it did. Let's head on in. Oh, sorry if you can hear my voice breaking. I can feel I can feel that I am losing my voice. This is the Oldie family. It's just Mary Sue. Her parents passed away last round. And then she has an adopted brother named Orlando. However, Orlando is moving in Strangetown with his boyfriend, with Beth Currant. So she lives here in the trailer where her parents used to live. Her clothes grave disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. It's not like smashed or kicked or anything. It's just gone. Her life's kind of tragic. It's kind of sad. Like I said, found her husband cheating on her twice and moved out to go live where her parents used to live after they passed away, to go live with them for their final days. And now she just lives here alone. She is currently starting a relationship with Mortimer Goth, who is recently single. She wants to marry Rich, which is why I was doing it. You'll have to see how it goes with her and Mortimer. With the Chancellor in the game, she ended up getting fired from her job. And then in my game, why does she want to be? She's not supposed to be that. Her lifetime want is, I'll have to change it. It's supposed to become media magnate. And so I'll have her in the journalism career, and she's level 6, and she looks like she'll get a promotion next time I play her. Should be cool. She has her little dog. This is Moody. He's literally asleep. She just got him last round. She was lonely by herself. So now we live in this household is Moody. There's not really absolutely much to say because it's literally just Mary Sue. With this little bit out of the way, we will head on to our next family, which is the Spectres. With Orpheus away in jail, Ken had to watch the kids all on his own. A devastating fire from a burglar overtook him out, leaving Lucia alone with Donovan all winter. How will they cope with their dad until he comes back? And what if he never does? Let's head on in. So this is the Spectre house. It consists of Lucia and her little brother Donovan. So Lucia is biologically, she is a Beaker and alien child. Control. yeah, the Beakers. We'll get to that when I record my Strange Town update. But Lucia was a triplet. Excuse me. With it was her, Diana, and Callie. They're all triplets. However, Loki, because he got himself abducted, purely to have another test subject, and he only needed one, which is Lucia, who was chosen. And so he kept Lucia and ended up giving Diana and Callie up for adoption. And then, however, Nervous, aka Orpheus, right here down there, because in my head, after Loki got himself abducted by aliens and got pregnant and had a new test subject, he and Circe were like, alright, like, you can go, like, you can leave, you don't have to be here anymore. And then Nervous was like, no, haha, I'll stay, it's for, like, babysitting, haha. I just want to babysit. You don't have to call, like, a nanny, do you? And they're like, I guess not, you can stick around, Nervous. But secretly, Nervous had fled. He ran away at the end of the round. He was in a relationship with Kent Cap, now Kent Spectre. Alright, he had passed away in a fire last round. I have a mod where my burglars can set stuff on fire. And I also have the Sims 3D2 traits modded. And so one of Kent's traits was erratic, aka like insane. And those Sims, I believe it's erratic Sims and Daredevils, all when they see fires, they will stand there by it and cheer. And Kent ended up doing that, and cheering for the fire, ended up dying. So he died from a fire, and then actually Donovan also died from the fire, but I had Lucia played, and it worked. And so Donovan's back. He literally just ate up to a child. It was literally at his birthday party. No, it wasn't a burglar. I lied. I lied about it being a burglar in my bio and here. What happened is I have a mod that when my Sims have like in the Sims 3, if you don't know, there is a chance that your birthday cake can catch fire and burn. And I have a mod in Sims 2 which allows that to happen. And when Donovan was eating up, it was his birthday when he was my child, Kent was eating him up, fire happened. And so Kent stood here and cheered. It's like, woohoo, a fire. And Lucia was desperately. She ran outside. I don't know if she called the fire department or if I had a fire alarm at the time, but either way, the fire department showed up. It killed Kent. I couldn't plead for him in time. I was able to plead for Donovan, however, so he's back. He looks very, let's just say, you can tell who his parents are. You can tell who his dads are. Honestly, my first ever, like, science baby, he was the first one that I eventually was like, I'm gonna do it. I got inspired by a Sims YouTuber named Honeybee Sims. She does science babies in her Sims 2 game, and I said, what if I want to do, I want to try doing science babies in my game. So Donovan was the first one born, but yeah. Like I had mentioned earlier, Orpheus is currently in jail for stealing some newspaper and kicking down trash cans and stuff because he's really mean to his like nice meter is all the way down, so he's really mean. He comes around stealing stuff, and so he got himself in jail just for the round. Lucia is trans. I did mention this earlier, but she is trans. I just haven't medically transitioned her, aka like I haven't gone in a SimPE and made her body feminine. So I don't think she would do that yet. Actually, looking back, I kind of wish that I love him. I love Donovan, and I'm happy that he is saved. But part of me wishes that I kept him dead. I feel like that would have been a fun storyline to play off of, just Orpheus coming back from jail and finding not only his husband but his youngest son gone. Well, who knows? He is the grandson of the Grim Reaper, so not really much else to say about this family. So we will head on to the next family, which is the Nigmos Gale family. Ophelia and Juliet had a rough patch when Thea was born, but they've mended it well. They managed her blended family, and are finally closing up shop when it comes to having kids. Let's head on in. So this is the Enigmos Gale family. They live in this apartment that I got off of Mod The Sims. I don't actually remember what apartment it's called. I can check when I get it. So this is Juliet Cap, who is now Juliet Gale. Her and Romeo were in a relationship, in a secret relationship behind their family's back. And as teenagers, they woohooed and they got pregnant. It had Sirius right here. However, because, Juliet, it's like Calvin and Monty don't date. We're in a feud. And so, because of Sirius being born, Juliet and Romeo were both banished from their families. So Juliet has her dad's last name, and Romeo has his mom's last name. She has Sirius, who's up here. He looks a lot like his dad. He looks so much like Romeo. This is Sirius. He's become a teenager. He has two older June Smith, who lives in Strangetown, or Julie, excuse me, who lives in Strangetown, so we won't get to her today. He has lived literally with his mom his whole life. And like I said in my game, my teenagers, I reroll their sexualities for fun, just as I want to. And Juliet, both Romeo and Juliet ended up rolling as gay, which I thought was really funny. And so they do co-parent Sirius well. They both at one point lived in the flop house. And Sirius and Romeo literally saw each other every day up until Julia and Ophelia got the money to move out of the flop house. Romeo still lives there, unfortunately. I named him Sirius because he was born during a fire. Once she and Romeo both realized they were gay, they ended up breaking up in college, and Julia ended up getting with Ophelia. Ophelia was with Johnny, at the beginning of the game, and they also had a kind of similar story in which it's minus the whole banished from the family thing. Ophelia and Johnny also had a teen pregnancy, and they had twins, Edith and Eli. I haven't played Eli yet, so still a child in the family tree. But I ended up having Ophelia's alright, we're not gonna be together because Johnny is in a relationship with Tank. We'll get to that whenever we do the Strange Town episode. But she was like, alright, look, if you want, you can have kind of separated at birth kind of thing. Ophelia ended up taking Edith with her, and Johnny ended up having Eli. So Edith, she just ate up to a teenager, and I love her outfit so much. I'll have to put a picture of it on screen because she's asleep right now. But I had recently found these CC overalls. I swear, I've been putting all of my female Sims in these overalls, so they're so cute. She is, like I said, one of the children of Ophelia and Johnny. She never really got to know her dad, unfortunately, unlike Sirius, who is really close with his dad. Edith doesn't actually know Johnny. They never met. Ophelia and Johnny kind of separated. They ended up separating before college because Ophelia had gone to college, but Johnny did not want to go to college. He ended up just growing up. So they were kind of separated long before. Literally, it's pretty much when the kids were born, they kind of got separated, literally. Not long after. So Edith doesn't know her dad. She didn't really have any intentions of knowing her dad because she considered her. She has two moms, and one of them is Juliet. On to the next kid is Theodore Nigmos. So Ophelia has two bolts with Rip, and I was playing Rip and Romance Sim. He and Ophelia hooked up, and they got pregnant, and with Risky Woohoo, and they had little Theodore, who just became a child last round. He's really cute. It was like, there's no shot you got pregnant from me. That's not possible. And so they had a really rough patch for a long time. However, eventually was able to kind of was like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that. And she even was oh, I broke up with Rip, her and Rip, which why she doesn't want, she just broke up. They broke up. They like haven't seen each other literally since Theodore was born because Rip's sent out with Kaylin now. So then they reconciled, and then when they reconciled, they were finally able to have a science baby of their own named Cynthia. This is her. She like just became a child. She looks like Ophelia. Like if Ophelia were white, this is what you would get. You'd get Cynthia. I'm never that good at detecting what parent like kids take after, unless it's like kind of like obvious stuff like Sirius, who threw just a carbon copy of his dad minus the hair color. They're not having any more kids. I'm like 4 is enough. They're really kind of chill. They're gonna be more chill now that all their kids are not toddlers. But yeah, we will see kind of what comes up on them. They do want to get married to each other. So I am going to be planning a wedding for spring. I'll probably have them just get married in the backyard and just invite like Romeo. Maybe. I would invite Rip, but I'm scared of. I invite like Romeo and Rip and just the other parents and maybe Johnny. I don't know. Ophelia and Johnny don't really talk anymore. That is it for the Enigma Scale family. So we'll head on to the next family, which is the Dotora family. And being kicked from his family name in a farmland town, Romeo found home in Pleasantview with his new husband Peyton. They work similar schedules and are trying to grow a family of their own. Let's head on in. Alright, so this is the Dotors. It's just Romeo and his husband Peyton. I believe they met in college, but Romeo, before he was with Peyton, in college he ended up getting in a relationship with Rip. And at the time I was like, yeah, I'll change some aspirations around. I've kind of don't want to do that much anymore, but Romeo's aspiration ended up changing to family. And so when Rip was flirting with Kaylin, back when they lived here together, Romeo was like, that's not cool, dude. Like, I don't like that. And so Rip was like, alright, fine, we'll just move out together then. And you can stay here. And so Rip ended up moving out with Kaylin, who was their apartment neighbor. It's now just, I don't know, some townie. So Romeo was kind of single for a while, but he, as a family sim, he's like, I want to get married, I want to like, blah, blah, blah. So I remember he had this dormie in college named Peyton that he had balls with, and so I ended up calling them up, and they are now married. They just got married last round. I'm kind of trying to get them pregnant. Not really working out, plus they live in the flop house. I'm scared for what'll happen. But Romeo is in the law career. He's level 5 and he's a paralegal. Looks like he'll get a promotion next time he goes to work. And Peyton, I put him in the prison guard career for my daytime. But yeah, they just got married. They're kind of slowly but surely starting to get their life off the ground. I'm probably going to keep them because I think Romeo has money in his bank account. He does. It's probably their last round in the flop house. I want to kind of keep them here so they can get like as much money as like and get a bunch of money because Romeo only has 12k and there's 7k. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they're able to get out of here and move into a trailer and be free from the flop house because Romeo has been kind of stuck here since he moved here with Rip. That's kind of the last main actual household of the hood that's actually like playable right now. I can show you some bin families that will be moving to Pleasantview. There's like 2. First let's go over the bin families, and I'll see you over on the map view. And I guess who Sims that will be moving to Pleasantview is, like I said, Mortimer and Penelope. I touched on them earlier. I just haven't put them down yet. Also moving to Pleasantview will be Jill Smith and her son Percy. I will kind of briefly touch on Jill and Percy, but I will kind of go more into detail when I do my update in Strange Town. Short, Don Lothario is is in a relationship with Jenny Smith, and Jill had just gone home from college. And Jill and Dawn have had 3 boys together, and Jill ended up on her own autonomously rescuing with Dawn and got pregnant with Jill. And now has her son. I'm pointing out my screen so you can see. He, if you can kind of tell, he has alien skin and red hair. He got like recessive genes from pollination technician, which I think is nice. She will be moving in with her boyfriend. However, I haven't played him yet, so. But last but not least, the last household that I can go over that's actually in the world for you today is the orphanage. Alright, so this is the orphanage. I got the lot off of Mod the Sim. Alright, so this is the Sally Edwards. She is the actual mother of Toppy. That when I was making Toppy when he was a foreign exchange student, I needed to make a teenager, but you can't move teenagers by themselves. So I ended up making his mom, Sally, and I was like, well, I need someone to run the orphanage, and she runs it. So in the orphanage, we currently have 5 kids, 4 of which are teenagers. This was Abigail Pleasant, who's biological daughter of Daniel and Mary Sue. She was taken away along with her 2 sisters, one of which had passed away. Like I had mentioned earlier, Catherine Pleasant, the sister of Abigail and Samantha, passed away in a car accident, as did Sarah Speaker. They are both kind of here. I don't have a graveyard in my town yet. I keep saying I need to add a graveyard, and then I don't. But yeah, this is Abigail. She is the twin sister of Samantha. Her hair is red. Like, she also have red hair, as you can tell by her eyebrows, but I thought she looks really nice with blonde hair. What if I make she dyed her hair blonde? And so I did that. Well, she just became a teenager. I thought she had both with people, but I guess she doesn't. So she's like bisexual, and literally she has like no chemistry with any of the teenagers that she's met. Like, none with Callie, who actually lived, or Diana, who lived in the orphanage with her. None with Ashford Curious. None with, like, June. Chelsea's her, like, cousin, so not her. Like, none with, like, any other teenager that she's met so far. I still have to go through the rest of my hood and age people up. So, like, so far, she's kind of hopeless when it comes to love. Like, in my head, she's like the pessimist to her sister's optimist. Speaking of her sister, let's head on over and look at her. Yeah. So this is Samantha. Like I said, twin sister of Abigail, got taken away from the Pleasants. She's gay. She has like one bull with she has one bull with Callie, one bull with Diana, but she has 2 bulls with Julie, which is interesting. So who knows who she'll get with. She wants to have her first kiss. Like I said, she's a hopeless romantic. Her and her sisters were all kind of, neglected by her parent, in the sense that, like, someone's social media was all the way down, and they were taken away because of it. And I guess she had, in my opinion, she hasn't really taken the methods to, like, work past that and work past, like, her traumas and stuff about being taken away, versus Samantha, who I don't know if I'd say that Samantha has moved past it, but she kind of puts on, like, she's like kind of doing the whole fake it till you make it confidence kind of thing. The last 3 Sims in the orphanage this is Callie Beaker. Callie is, I kind of talked about her earlier. She is one of the triplets that Loki ended up having. She's like with sister to Lucia, and her twin sister Diana, who's also in here. Her and Diana were given up for adoption. He only needed 1 test subject, And so Loki ended up giving Callie and Diana up for adoption. And they're here. It was like more romantic, so kind of traditional romance and flirt around, do all that, da 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 da. And then we have her sister Diana. Even though she was never raised as a beaker, and it was never like ever meant to be a beaker, she's a beaker. She's evil. She's an evil knowledge. Her secondary gonna be like mean popularity sim. So like she's very cold and calculated like her dad. We'll get into that and more of it and when like my Strange episode recorded, but her dad has passed away in a fire, and so like long after she left, she's very much like him, even if she was never raised around him, which I find really interesting. Last but certainly not least is the red subject. After Nervous had taken Lucia and ran away, Loki ended up getting abducted by aliens and having one more child to be his test subject. And that was the red subject. Cersei, when she had the triplets, when she had Adam, Augustus, and Ceres, Cersei had passed away via childbirth, and so it was just Loki raising his technically four kids, while he was away at work. One day, all of his kids were they're all kids, so they couldn't do anything. As Loki was away at work, a lightning bolt had struck a cactus, and then it stopped raining. And so, fire burned. So literally, Loki got home from work and instantly ran towards the tree. I tried having him run inside to extinguish it, call someone, but no. And I was trying to keep the kids inside and away from it, but Loki ended up dying. He kind of caught fire immediately and died. So all of his kids were kind of sent to the orphanage, like the rest of them, Adam, Ceres, Augustus, and the red subject. Of course, Adam and Augustus have since been adopted. He's gonna be a teenager next round, which would be really fun. It would be kind of cool to have more teens. But yeah, I think there's really not much else to kind of touch on. I've gone over every single family that lives in Pleasant View and or will be moving to Pleasant View. So I guess that is all. Thank you so much for watching my new megahood update. I will hopefully try to return every time it's spring. That's my plan, is every 4 rounds I want to film an update video. And I kind of also want to get more into doing YouTube and actually making more videos and not just taking month-long breaks. So if you guys have any suggestions of stuff that you want to see, let me know. But also, as you may have noticed throughout the video, I now have a little VTuber, PNG VTuber. She's amazing and I love her so much. She was drawn by my amazing friend Zoe, aka Apple Egg Roll on Instagram. So if you like what my little girly right here, please go on and follow my friend Zoe on Instagram. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said in the actual video, if you have any suggestions for stuff that you want to see me do, Sims related or other games, let me know and I will kind of maybe get to them. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!